Steven Spielberg's comments and praise will surely make the world believe that James Gunn has got everything under control for Superman. Starring a ragtag team of misfits and outcasts from society, iconic director James Gunn directed and created the 2014 Marvel film, Guardians of the Galaxy. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Despite not being that famous among the plethora of Marvel characters, James Gunn managed to bring them to life with his movie. The world is ready for Superman. James Gunn and David Corenswet are ready for their DCU film to take flight in theaters, and so is veteran director Steven Spielberg, ready to see this upcoming Gunn film. Not that the director has explicitly said so, but it appears that the Jurassic Park director might love Gunn and the humorous way with which he can tackle serious situations. Although Spielberg hasn't talked about James Gunn and David Corenswet's Superman, his previous statements about another one of James Gunn's films are a great way to market Superman. Sitting amongst the audience was iconic director Steven Spielberg, who had simply come out for a show and to see what this new director was capable of. Much to Spielberg's surprise, he actually loved the movie, as he told during an event back in 2016, via CBR. "I really like Richard Donner's Superman, Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight, and the first Iron Man, but the superhero movie that impressed me the most is one that doesn't take itself too seriously, Guardians of the Galaxy." Well, this team of misfits managed to make James Gunn a well-known name in Hollywood, as the film went on to earn $773 million at the global box office, via IMDb. Having received praise and acclaim from an iconic director like Steven Spielberg himself, Gunn is bound to increase his fame as a credible Hollywood director as the years go by. "When the screening ended, I left with the feeling that I had seen something new in the cinema, without any cynicism or fear of being dark when necessary." Although the film features several fantasy elements and totally not a realistic setting, James Gunn managed to do something that most directors often fail at. He made the outcasts feel relatable and normal. Gunn's ability to bring things to a grounded feel can greatly help him with his upcoming magnum opus, Superman. All of these might sound familiar, since that is what David Corenswet's Superman will also be delving into when the movie releases. Gunn's Superman is literally an alien outcast who tries to fit into society, while people fear him for his power, who faces off against his enemies, the inevitable, while falling in love with Lois Lane, creating his family. If James Gunn did it all with Guardians of the Galaxy back in 2014, he can sure as heck do it again for the DCU. With Steven Spielberg also loving the 2014 movie, it seems that he, too, might love Gunn's Superman again. Despite the hatred against Gunn's DCU, it seems that James Gunn has got everything under control, since his Guardians franchise has often delved into the concepts of hope against the inevitable, a feeling of being an outcast, and a sense of creating your own family. While Suicide Squad, the 2016 version, did prove to derail the DCU completely after the Dawn of Justice mishap, it did excel in the casting department, which is one thing the DCU got right, for the most part at least. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. Although it's either Margot Robbie's Harley, the unofficial face of the DCU, or Will Smith's Deadshot, who gets the roses for being one of the few silver linings in Suicide Squad, Jai Courtney also deserves to be in that conversation. Even though the script let him down, to the point that his character didn't even receive a backstory, which sort of added to his charm, the sequel, which did Harley and Rick Flag right, didn't waste time killing him off. However, with the DCU off to a fresh start, the actor has expressed interest in rejoining James Gunn, even if it's for another role. Amidst DC's new beginning under James Gunn, one Suicide Squad star has thrown his hat in the ring regarding a potential DCU jump. Whatever the case may be, Jai Courtney has expressed that he would be on board to work with James Gunn again if the opportunity arises. Although he clarified that Gunn is yet to contact him regarding any DCU gigs, if not Boomerang, he'd be enthralled to work in any role. Captain Boomerang's death in the Suicide Squad was pretty unexpected, which was also kind of the point and perfectly drove home the idea of risk that comes with being in the Task Force X. With characters from Peacemaker now transitioning to the new universe, it's hard to say for certain if his character will remain dead in the DCU or not. While Superman is set to be DCU's first major release, much of the heavy lifting in terms of giving viewers a proper grasp on this universe restart will boil down to Peacemaker Season 2. He told Screen Rant, "I mean, sure, whatever. I'm open to anything. We can always have a conversation. But I think where that's coming from is, like, that's just a role that I loved playing, and it was sad to give him up. So if there's any more mileage to milk out of it, I'm your guy." Given how tailor-made the role of Boomerang proved to be for him, it's a shame we never got to see him in his full glory. As for a potential DCU appearance, we'll have to wait for Peacemaker Season 2 to get a proper grasp of where the Suicide Squad stands in terms of being canon. If that indeed turns out to be the case, hopefully, Courtney's The Suicide Squad appearance won't be the last of what we see him in the realm of DC. Given his chops in the stint of Boomerang, he surely deserves another shot under Gunn's regime. Moreover, per thwipT_, Season 2 will reportedly incorporate other characters from the Suicide Squad. Considering that in this new chapter, Rick Flagg's fate remains the same as that of the 2021 movie, there's a good chance a similar situation will be the case for Boomer. James Gunn is reportedly already hard at work on the next film that will see Superman return to the DCU. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. If the rumors are true, a world's finest film is in the works, which will feature Batman and Superman headline a project on the silver screen for the first time since Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. The rumor comes courtesy of John Rocha and Jeff Snyder, who believe that James Gunn is currently working on a film featuring both Superman and Batman. While this might as well be a Justice League film or a cameo in a Teen Titans movie, the speculation has skewed towards a world's finest film, which may or may not be in development. Superman and Batman could be appearing in a film together pretty soon in the DCU if this James Gunn rumor is true. It makes sense, however, that a world's finest film would be in early development at DC Studios, simply because of the patterns seen in the announced films and the world James Gunn seems to be building. So far, almost every project that Gunn has announced has brought in diverse characters from the superhero scene into the mythos of particular heroes. Not in a million years would anyone have considered a C-tier Green Lantern to be part of the supporting cast of a Superman film, much less with other heroes that could headline their own films. Even films that focus on a single mythos, like Lanterns, are bringing in heavy hitters, with Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart being part of the show, along with Guy Gardner. James Gunn appears to be informing audiences that the DCU is a living, breathing space where heroes frequently cross over. Therefore, while certain characters like Peacemaker, Superman, and Supergirl are getting shows with their names on them, other projects are about groups of people working together, such as Brave and the Bold, The Authority, Lanterns, and Creature Commandos. Every Superman that has graced the silver screen after Christophe Reeve has not managed to get a sequel for themselves. If it is really true that Superman is going to appear next in a world's finest movie, as speculated by John Rocha on an episode of his podcast, The Hot Mic, the Man of Steel would be once again foregoing a standalone sequel for himself in favor of a team-up. This rumor, however, could also be related to a film that will follow the release of a Superman sequel. Personally, there are more than a few heroes that I would love to see done right, apart from the mainline Justice League, of course. Kilowog is a character integral to the Green Lantern mythos, and it is